Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about fighters that really need to win this weekend. First is Tucker Lutz. Tucker Lutz 12-3. He's 28 years old, but he has 8 finishes out of his 12 wins. But he's 1-2 in the UFC. Was 2-0 in the Contender Series, but it's 1-2 in the UFC. And his one win was against Kevin Aguilar, which was pretty good win. Not great, convincing, but okay. Loses dominated by Pat Sabatini, and then he gets outdone by Daniel Pineda, who seemed to be on his way out as for himself. Great performance by Pineda. Wasn't expecting that, but Tucker Lutz kind of disappointed in that fight, and he absolutely needs to. I mean, fighting Melsek Basanganai really needs to prove that he belongs in the UFC. He really needs to dominate. He cannot afford another loss. And then I think another one is Austin Lingo. Austin Lingo is 9-2. He is 2-2 in the UFC, and his 2 wins haven't been great. Both decisions. Been competitive, been some fun fights, but not great. I thought his short notice appearance against Nate Landwehr would be a lot more competitive than it was, and it really wasn't competitive. Whether that was the weight cut issue, whether that was just the levels beyond, Nate is better than Austin Lingo. Lingo needs a decisive win, and beating a guy like Costa, who is 19-6, no slouch himself, absolutely could be his golden ticket to get some big fights. And then another one is Genaro Valdez. Genaro, I think it's Genaro Valdez. 10-2, 10-0. He came into the UFC, and he's looked pretty bad in his last 2 fights. Contender Series, he beat Patrick White. And he lost to Matt Frivola and Natan Levy. Natan Levy one was just kind of a domination. Matt Frivola hits hard and was dropped. He was dropped like 7 times. It was nuts. He really needs a win, or he might be cut. I mean, we can't really, sugarcoat it. And the next, I think, is Terrence McKinney. Terrence McKinney needs a win. And also, Terrence McKinney needs to show some evolution in his game. Because when he's won, he looks incredible. When he's used the abilities that he has, typically also when he wins, it's in the first round. But like Drew Dober, he blitzed him, short notice fight, almost had Dober out of there. You can't really blame him for that one because he almost had Dober out of there. But Ismail Bonfim, he's had a lot of issues where, like, especially in this one, same with the Dober one, where creates chaos, but then he can't defensively when he gets old, like when he gets tired, he can't be good defensively. And I think that's a big issue with Terrence McKinney. Now, we've seen Bonfim lose in his last one against Denise, but Bonfim in that fight with Terrence McKinney was a sniper. He was accurate. He was aggressive. He was hurting him every time Terrence McKinney made a mistake. And whether that, even though that is very exciting, you have to change it. You have to adapt. Grappling wise, because even when he fought Eric Gonzalez, he was dominating. But there was a moment on the feet where Gonzalez connected on him, and it did hurt him. He even acknowledged it. So, Terrence McKinney at 13-5. He is only 29 years old. 28, but he'll be 29 in September. He's not old by any imagination, but he has 4 losses by TKO or KO. 1 by submission. If he doesn't get out of that first round, if he gets out of the first round with Nazem, which I believe he does, it might get a little rough. I'd like to see a more patient, a more calm, a more measured Terrence McKinney, because a measured and patient Terrence might be a problem for that division. And then I think next is Holly Holm. 41 years old. I believe she'll be 42 in October. She really needs a decisive win against Mayra Bruno Silva. I actually think this card is better than what people are thinking it is. I actually think the main event is decent. I'm curious and see how Holly Holm decides to fight this one. Is she just going to be sprawl and brawl? Is she going to try to go grapple with Silva, which I think is a mistake. I think that plays right into Silva's hand. I think Silva is, even if Holly gets her down, that's right in Silva's, wheelhouse. I don't like this fight for Holly Holm. I don't like the matchup. I don't like because Holly Holm, as of late, has wrestled. Even when she fought Megan Anderson, she wrestled. When she fought Raquel Pennington, she kind of grappled. We haven't really seen her strike, except for the Irene Aldana fight, which is a stand-up fighter herself. Which, again, I will say, she looked incredible. But she fought Caitlin Vieira, and she got hit a lot in that fight. And then she fights Yana Santos, and Santos decides to charge at her. And yet, typically, when you charge at Holly, we've seen it before multiple times. Beth Correia, Ronda, we've seen it. You get, there's repercussions. And the repercussion was kind of just her wrestling her, which, again, is weird to me because... is that a product of your age? Is that a product of you wanting to just grapple her? I don't really understand that game plan because we used to see Holly Holm strike a lot more, and even though she did strike with the Irene Aldana, that was 2020, October of 2020. That was almost 3 years ago. I think Holly Holm needs a decisive win to show everybody that she's still a contender. She's still a threat in that division, because at 41, almost 42 years old, the end might be very, very near. Thank you guys so much. Let me know if you guys agree. Let me know if you guys disagree. And as always, subscribe, like, comment down below. Let's talk about it. Become a member. Hit that join button on the YouTube channel. As always, peace.